Oh wow, this song's immediately going hard, okay. Alright, so... Oh, it's actually getting really loud. I'm gonna hit start so I can think. There we go. So the May Wolves Game Jam happened again this year. Last time, it's how we got the game Before You Depart, which was absurd. There's no clear winner yet because the voting is still in progress, so I guess this is my little PSA that if you want to... We can't participate in the game jam by making a game, but if you want to be involved in the voting process, they're all happening right now. You can check out the games and help determine that. I think people publicly vote. I didn't actually research any of this. I just wanted to start playing a game. Anyway, I have an inherent bias in these situations, which is that the game jam has prefab visual assets, but I'm biased in favor of the games that actually do make their own art because I like seeing a little cohesive style into a game and all that. Before You Depart was absurd. I don't really expect anything else to be another Before You Depart because what the fuck? How did that happen? But scanning through the list, this one stood out to me because it has its own art, and it also has a game. It's named after. It looks like it's named after one of those anime that I never have seen, but have a title that just sounds like someone's exasperated wife yelling at you. It's just a whole ass sentence for a title. This one's called "I'm Now the School Delinquent's Lover, but I Want Out!" 2 exclamation points. Sure, let's check it out. Here we are. Haruto, the Demon's Cavern. Legend says that those who enter never come out the same. They lose all their loot, and they're practically back at level 1. Where exactly do you hear of this legend? Online forums. That's beside the point. They say that this is the base of one of the strongest players in the entire game, and I'm gonna rate it. Yeah, I'm not doing that. What? Haruto, you gotta! Bro's gotta stick together through everything. I'm not about to lose my entire account on some legend. Besides, what exactly do you think is gonna happen? That's the strongest player, right? Imagine all the sweet, sweet loot they have in there. There's gotta be at least 100,000 yen worth of weapons. And you think you can beat whoever's inside and take it all? I'm an optimist. As far as watching Gorou go in there and just get destroyed by whatever whale is inside, that base sounds, in truth. Though, as fun as watching that sounds, in truth, my mind is elsewhere. I lost the sentence a little bit. A whale. Don't play video games that even can have whales. It just means that they can just spend money on being powerful. These people are playing Diablo Immortal, basically. Depressing. It's our first day back in class, and our last year of high school, no less. It seems like only yesterday I entered this school as a shy, quiet 16-year-old, with no friends, and all on my own. Starting at 16, okay. So it's not an American school, that's for sure. Now I'm a shy, quiet 18-year-old with one friend who's addicted to online games, and won't even be in my class this year. So much for that youthful high school experience, huh? But maybe this year will be different. Maybe I'll finally come out of my shell, make friends, and go do karaoke with people. Yeah, karaoke. I've always wanted to do that. Hey Haruto, log back on and give me some of your stuff. What? Why? Oh god, it's a phone game. That's even worse. So I can be fully prepared to raid this guy's base. Come on, I need some healing potions. I sigh. Or maybe I'll just play MMORPGs until I turn 30. Hey nerds. Gorou and I looked up. And standing before us is someone we only know by the name of Udon. He's in class 3B with Gorou, and infamous for being a part of the school delinquent trio known as the Black Dogs. Even though, ironically enough, none of them are dogs or have black fur. Be a little harder to tell in the black and white game. What do you want? Hurtful. Is that any way to talk to your neighbor? I'll never forgive you for breaking my Aimana figure. I said I was sorry. You will be. Udon? What do you need from us? Oh, yeah. I'm actually here to ask Haruto a question. Completely hypothetical. Me? Yeah, just a bit of research. So, Haruto, if someone were to confess their feelings to you, how would you want them to do it? Confess? To me? Sure. Is that so strange? I mean, who would do that? I don't think anyone in the school even knows my name. It's just a hypothetical. Don't you ever daydream of things like that? Of course I do. Getting confessed to, falling in love, going on fluffy, rose-colored lovey-dovey dates. Anyone would want something like that. Well, I guess something sweet, like getting a flower or a letter. Just having someone confess their feelings honestly. Someone who's bold and strong. And, or something like that. I see. This was useful information, Haruto. Alright, I'll catch you nerds later. Hey, you aren't gonna ask me? Why? I'm only asking people who actually have a chance of getting confessed to. You... In a frenzy, Udon dashes out of the classroom, Gorou angrily chasing after him. Weird. I hope this doesn't come up in 5 minutes. Like some kind of story premise. The school's assembly takes place in the morning. The principal stands in front of the gym podium, talking about the same old thing he always does, in the first day back. School's important. Study, 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 blah, blah, blah. But Udon's question makes me wonder. Is it really possible for someone like me to get confessed to? To have that kind of romance? I don't even have friends outside of Gorou. Why would anyone want to confess to someone as invisible as me? Yeah, maybe this is just who I'm supposed to be. There's always that person who you don't remember in the old yearbook photos. That'll be me, then. The person people point to and ask themselves, just who the hell was that guy? And that's fine. I'll just keep my expectations as low as possible, and I'll never get disappointed. Yeah. I just have to keep living as I have up to this point. It'll be fine, right? The gym doors crash open, and Principal's speech halts in a confusing stutter. Oh. Oh my god, the music is aggro. I'm gonna need you to quiet down a bit. There we go. I wonder what the source is, like if it's from a library or made by the people or not. And there, in the entrance, stand the black dogs. Okay, I can decidedly assume that none of them have black fur given what I'm seeing then, yes. Udon to the left, standing as proud and smug as ever, a bunny with a mask on the right, and in the very middle, the huge, broad wolf, with the scariest glare I've ever seen, by the name of Akuma. Yo, 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 we're crashing this assembly. What is the meaning of this? Kazuma, you... Shut it, old man. This is an important PSA by the Black Dogs. Hit it, Kirari. The tall, scary-looking bunny raises her phone up to her masked face, and a deep, feminine voice loudly yells into it. The speakers of the gym blaring out her voice and making the whole student body jump. Akahana Haruto, make yourself known. Huh? Me? What the hell did I do? This is a normal day that can definitely happen in real life. The students around me start to shuffle out of the way, and a clear path forms between me and the black dogs. When the large wolf's eyes meet mine, I'm almost positive I peed a little. Great. Great, buddy. Good job. He starts making his way towards me, and my legs start shaking like crazy. My throat dry as a desert. Is this it? God, am I gonna die today? The wolf finally reaches me, and I have to tilt my head and look up at him. His incredibly icy glare making my own eyes water in fear. That's when he suddenly gets down on one knee. It's only then I realize that the huge bouquet of flowers in his hands as he extends it up, almost as if offering them to me? Akahana Haruto. His voice booms even louder than the bunnies with the speakers, making everyone, including me, jump back in shock. He stutters, a red blush forming on his face, and I just stand there in shock, unable to process what the hell's going on. What could he possibly want with me? I'm in love with you, Akahana. Go out with me. What? The entire gym erupts in a roar of screams of shock, whispers and murmurs of confusion echoing around the entire building, but my head goes blank, completely dumbfounded. Is this a joke? Am I being punked? Where's the cameras? I don't think you need cameras to get punked when it's at a school assembly in front of everybody. Who are you even filming it for at that point? But there are no cameras. Udon and Karari are close behind Akuma, as expectant of my answer as everyone else here is. I look back down at Akuma. His glare just as scary, but his hands seem to be shaky and nervous. Is this for real? What do I do? I can't say yes. I don't know. I don't know Akuma. Akuma? Fuck. I don't know. I always called the character in Street Fighter Akuma, but it might be Akuma. I don't actually know. What is this, some kind of trap? What do I do? I don't know. He nodded. That's a yes. Another round of confused roars pierces my eardrums, and my heart sinks when I realize that what I actually just did. Did I just accept? The dumb little smile. Udon cheers as Akuma gets back to his feet, towering over me once again as he leers down at me with a crooked smile. See you at lunch. Launch? He's gonna throw him into the sun. See you at lunch, Akahana. He pushes the flowers to my chest, making me instinctively grab onto them, and he quickly turns to leave, Udon jumping up and down happily after him. This concludes the announcement. Principal, you may continue. Karari yells her final announcement into the phone, following after the other two who are long gone by now, and closes the double doors behind her, leaving the gym in complete silence. On one hand, it feels irresponsible that a random student could just hijack the intercom system for the assembly, which it probably is not an intercom system, but just like a speaker that's just out. But on the other hand, it's completely realistic that the adults would have no idea how to stop that, and that the kids would have the technology figured out better than they do. All eyes land on me, as the principal nervously picks up where he left off, and I clutch onto my flowers, my shaky legs doing a poor job of keeping me up. Just... what the hell happened? You guys don't sit down in assemblies? Or I guess he just didn't sit back down yet. I know I said I wanted to be noticed, but this is too much! When we got back to our classes, a crowd of people quickly formed around my desk, barraging me with questions. What kind of guy is Akuma like? Have you guys been going steady? Were you threatened to say yes? All the questions I have zero answers to. Technically, you have the answer to the third one. Thankfully, throughout the rest of the morning, there was enough of a distraction by the teachers to not have me invaded with more interviews. But when lunch break finally comes, people come right back to my desk, their hungry curiosity unwavering at such a time like this. Is it true? Is it true? That Akuma goes to a meat shop to eat other people's remains? Other people's remains? Do they serve people at the meat shop? Is that the inherent implication of what you're saying right now? Like the black market? This has to be like the black market from Beastars, right? Like that's what do you mean? Those are just rumors. I heard he only eats rival gang members. Have you seen that, Akahana? Eat? Come on, I'm sure Akahana doesn't appreciate you guys talking about his boyfriend like that. Besides, Akuma's never beat up anyone at school before. That's just because he's good at what he does, being sneaky, a bully for hire. I heard the student council sometimes pay him to get rid of students who don't vote for them. Cool, who's missing? Is there anyone who's missing? There's your evidence or not. Otter boy. everyone's in big. Oh, other boy. Oh, other boy, other girl, not otter boy. Is that all true, Akahana? The classroom doors open suddenly, and the entire room falls silent. The crowd that formed around me takes one look at whatever's at the door, and without a word quickly gather their things and disperse, heading out the back door. Of course, there was no doubt in my mind that the person at the door was Akuma, but seeing him make his way toward me made me want to pee all over again. I just always want to pee. We even verified the first pee? Is it unverified pee? He stands before me now, looming over my desk. His presence is twice as daunting as the students who were here just seconds ago, and he takes up about just as much room as they did. Hi, Akuma-san. What? Huh? You're my boyfriend now. Don't use honorifics with me. He said this like a demand, and I shudder, whining in the back of my throat. Yes, sorry. He huffs, and his expression becomes impossible to read, even more than usual. Give me your lunch money. What? What are you, deaf? I said give me your lunch money. Is this that American style of bullying? I was like, yeah, wait, hang on a minute, is this happening? Is it being misinterpreted as being like, give me your lunch money because I'm gonna buy us lunch or something? Is it supposed to be a thing? Am I gonna become a piggy bank? He got a little pig nose and a noise at the same time. With a trembling hand, I reach into my wallet and hand him what I usually spend in a day, hoping he won't ask for more. Is this it? Have mercy. Yes, sorry. Fine. Go up to the roof and wait for me. I'll be there soon. Now. Yes. I get up and, scooting my way around his huge frame, I dash out the back door and make a beeline towards the roof. So it is what I figured it was, probably. Having rooftop access is so weird. It's completely alien to me how many scenes I've seen in anime that takes place on the roofs of schools. But then again, I've never even been to a school that had a second floor, so that's already a completely different layout. But I just feel like in American schools, they probably wouldn't let you on the roof. Granted, there are like fences and everything up here. Despite such a predicament, it's a nice day out. The cherry blossoms are in full bloom at this time of year, and some petals have floated all the way up here, coloring the floor in pink hues. I sigh, shakily, my heartbeat not coming down no matter how many breaths I take. What do I do? How do I get out of this? As if like a sign from God himself, my phone starts to ring. Checking the ID, it's Gorou. I answer hastily, pressing the phone up to my ear. Gorou? Haruto, what the hell's going on? The one year I finally decided to skip the assembly to get items on runecraft, and someone confesses to you during the old guy's speech? You're allowed to skip the assembly? It's once a year and you can skip it? And not just anyone, but freaking Akuma of the Black Dogs? And you said yes? It was an accident. I didn't mean to. It just... I nodded because I was shaking so much. That's crazy. You know that, right? I know. Just help me out. How do I get out of this? Alright. There's no other way around this. Haruto, you gotta break up with them, straight up. What? Are you crazy? I can't do that. He'll kill me. I do love it whenever there's actually like sprites in the bottom corner for who's talking. Just you actually get to see the character react at all. But then we've got bonus stuff going on here where like you got the designated person on the phone call sprite and it even has different faces. There's no choice here, Haruto. You got yourself into this mess. Now that's the only way out. Is there a chance Akuma will beat you up? Absolutely. You gotta endure it. Imagine being Akuma's personal plaything all school year. Yeah, that'd be horrible. What is this? Coffee, Akuma-sama, like you asked. This is way too hot. You tried to burn me, you stupid stray. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh God. Exactly. The more you wait, the worse it'll get. Don't expand the time frame, Haruto. Rip the bandage off while the wound is still fresh. And if you get beat up, I'll take you to the hospital myself. How kind. So, good luck. You can do it. Beep. Rip the bandage off, huh? As much as I hate to admit it, Gorou might be right. Making this go on for more than it needs to is just gonna make it harder to get out of. I can't expand how long we'll be together. I gotta end things now. Creak of the roof door opening alerts me to that Akuma's here, and I turn to face him, full of resolve to end this now. And then I get one good look at him and realize I don't want to get beat up by him. Sit. Yes. I forgot, I'm a huge pushover. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Both take a seat on a bench around the railings of the roof. The railings of the roof? I don't think that's applicable to what I'm seeing, to how this place is set up. Akuma's side is taking up most of the bench, with just enough space for me to squeeze a butt cheek into. I guess both would work. Both intos work here. Yeah, I would call that a fence, not a railing. Here. Puts a melon bread and a can of coffee on my lap, along with some coins. A melon bread? What does that taste like? Which type of melon? Like a honeydew melon? Probably not a watermelon. Bitter melon gourd is a thing? There's a few options for what it could be. I don't know what a melon bread is. Huh? For me? Obviously, it was your money. You like that bread, right? The dots slowly start to connect in my mind as I look at the bread, then the coins, then up at him. He went and bought this for me? But aren't the lines really bad at the cafeteria this time of day? At the time of day where everyone goes to the cafeteria? Yeah, it's my favorite. Thank you. He huffs affirmatively, crossing his arms and closing his eyes, nodding once. I tentatively unwrap the bread from its packaging, eating slowly and cautiously as I glance at Akuma through the corner of my eye, wondering if he poisoned it? This does have the vibe of like trying to date Kazuma Kiryu, and him just always having that stern expression and having really muted minor reactions to everything, and to every action that he does take being a little too dramatic. No, that's ridiculous. Even Akuma wouldn't do something like that, would he? Am I just being paranoid? I should mention that I did do an entire playthrough of Yakuza 6 now. So if you watched my playthroughs of Yakuza 0 through 5 and you're waiting for 6, it's all on Patreon. Literally the entire playthrough. It's like 30 hours long. It'll come out eventually. I don't know when. Fucking, Riven's about to come out. An Elden Ring DLC. And just, what the fuck? This month's really packed. I don't know when I'll have time to release Yakuza, but at some point. Anyway, No, that's ridiculous. Even Akuma wouldn't do something like that. Would he? Am I just being paranoid? Well, to be fair, he is really scary. Akahana. Yes? What's your favorite food? Huh? We're a couple now. I have the right to know these things about you. So answer me. Right. Let's see. I feel like that's supposed to be his, like, scary face with the stripes. But it looks like he's blushing. Except earlier he had little blushes on his cheeks, so I think that's supposed to be the blushing one, not this. This is supposed to be his, like, scary looming face where the stripes are the eyes. But it kind of looks like he's just trying to look serious while he's blushing. Doesn't quite give the scary face appearance. I tried to do a version of that. I did when I was commissioning my stickers. I tried to commission like this kind of disgusted expression. That one, like like purple, like the purple bluish lines on the face, expression. I swear to God, I think I had to explain it. I think it took like 6 attempts to try to even explain that expression to somebody who didn't know it or intuitively what I meant, and it's very hard to explain that in that context. It took a lot of work. Right. Let's see. Maybe yakisoba? Maybe. You don't know your favorite food? What do you mean, maybe? It's gyoza. It's not yours. It's mine. You can't have it. Are you asking or saying? Yakisoba. Definitely yakisoba. Got it. Just long silences. What about you? Meat. Oh God, he eats people. He eats people. Huh? I'm sorry I asked. Suddenly the roof door swings open again, and waltzing in comes another 2 members of the Black Dogs, Kirari and Udon. Yo, Akuma, Haruto. Figured you'd be up here. What are you doing here? Why is everyone being so mean to me today? You know, I was the one who got you those flowers, right? A little gratitude would be nice. Akuma huffs, and Udon and Kirari sit right in front of us on the floor. Udon takes out 2 corn dogs from his pocket. Ew? And wields them like Wolverine claws, while Kirari is glued to her phone, tapping away, playing a game most likely. Anyways, we just wanted to meet the guy who fell so head over heels with. Aku. Just not ready for the sentence. I have to try again to not know where it's going. We just wanted to meet the guy you fell so head over heels with, Aku. Didn't we, Kirari? Didn't you literally already know him first better? I guess not as much as Akuma probably did, because he's probably been kind of stalking and watching constantly, if he knows what her favorite food is without talking to us. Don't rope me into this. You guys are so mean. So, what were you 2 talking about before we came? Our favorite foods. Oh, good topic. I like these. He waves... I like these. He waves around his corn dogs under my nose, a grin on his face. Want one, Haru? I'm good. Don't wave them around Akahana's face like that. Akahana. I thought you said you switched to first name basis when you started dating. Aye. Akuma huffs again, this time in clear embarrassment. Come on, try it out. Say his name. It's easy. Akuma looks at me, blushing, opening his mouth to say something. Akahana. What was that? You... Shut up. Udon has a small laughing fit, but then calms himself down, returning his attention to me. Well then, you guys are getting to know each other, right? Haruto, what are some of your hobbies? Oh, Well, I like gardening. I play video games. I also read books a lot. Talk about a snooze fest. Could I get any more boring? Isn't being boring your goal if you want them to leave you alone? Sounds chill. What games do you play? Mostly RuneCraft, which is implied hybrid between a RuneScape and Minecraft, I guess. Which I'm trying to remember. Isn't RuneScape a game that kind of has like permadeath? I think I remember playing that game as a kid in the computer lab, but I can't remember if I started over constantly because I was playing for free from scratch each time whenever I got bored, or if you respawn when you die with nothing on you. All I remember is that when you mine, the veins can explode. And also it's very slow and boring, so it's really built for people that just want to have like the very long-term engagement there or something. You play RuneCraft? Kirari, being mostly absent from our conversation, now lights up, sitting up straight and looking right at me. Yes? What rank are you? 30? Oh my gosh. Okay, you're not that far yet, but that's totally fine. Have you played the new story quest? What do you think? I thought it was so boring. I think the devs are running out of ideas at this point, but the free items made it kind of worth it. Oh, you should go to Australia's dungeon if you haven't already. That's the place where you can unlock the hastened sword, and it's a lifesaver. What's your ID? I'll add you right now, if you know it. I could play... we could play if you... Or whatever, you know. Only if you're down. I don't care either way. She scoffs and looks away, also clearly embarrassed. She's kinda like the girl version of Akuma. Don't mind Kiari. She's a huge nerd. She'd love to play with you. Don't put words in my mouth. You put them there yourself. They banter like this back and forth. In a funny way, friends always seem to, and I get a little jealous of them. Even delinquents have these kinds of friendships? Huh? The kind where you could just laugh and joke around with and tease each other about? Of course, I'm grateful for my friendship with Gorou, but even we're not this close. Huh. Really don't belong here, do I? Here, in the middle of these group of friends, a complete outsider to their dynamic. What do I even have to offer? All the more reason to call it quits now. Akuma? He'd been listening in on the two's banter, but when he hears me mutter his name, his ears flick over to my direction, and it gives me his full attention. Yes? I don't think... That was an incredibly fast, skip ahead happening there. That happened so quick that you can't read it at all. Damn it. Why now? I wish fewer visual novels would try to use that trick, because I feel like it never really works very well. Whereas like, you can just have a line end with a dash that implies you're being interrupted, instead of trying to actually interrupt the reading of the text. It's a little too aggressively trying to be a video game about it. Aw, man. Lunch is over. Too soon. You never ate your bread, I think, unless I forgot. He and Kiari get up from the floor and stretch out a bit, and Udon throws the sticks of his now eaten corn dogs over the fence of the roof, grinning at me. You seem like a nice guy, Haruto. Treat Akiyama well, okay? He may look scary, but he's a real puppy on the inside. What was that? Nothing. He's dead. He ate him. If you really want to play, though, just ask. They both scurry out the door, leaving Akuma and I alone again. What were you gonna say, Akahana? Huh? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Do you have anything to do after class? No? Good. Then wait for me at the gate when classes are over. Don't leave without me. Got it? Got it! He nods, then pauses, as if he wants to say more. Then he shakes his head, turning to leave. I'm glad that those two seem to like you, Akahana. And off he goes. Akuma is pretty scary. I don't know how you could be afraid of somebody that is this socially awkward. Like, very obviously just a mess. But I guess he is probably twice as tall as you. But maybe there really is a trace of a nice guy somewhere in there. Hidden behind those piercing eyes of his. He got lunch for me. His friends seem to care about him a lot. And he hasn't actually done anything mean yet, except order you a lot. And he is pretty handsome. Is it my pushover nature that thinks that if he leans over to kiss me, I wouldn't push away? Or something else? No way. I can't think like that. I gotta end things ASAP for the sake of my high school year. The chaos that are the black dogs can't stay in my life. Whatever their chaos is, considering he's never beaten anybody up. So I'm like, what do? Interrupt assemblies? After school, that's when I'll do it for sure. He did not do it, probably. By the time classes are over, the hunger of my classmates has died down a bit, and only a few pass me by to ask a question or two about Akuma. Of course, when they realize I barely know Akuma myself, they pretty much just leave me alone. So it was bearable at the very least. Now, at the main gate, I'm waiting for him to show up like he said. Like I said he would when my phone rings. Gorou's ID popping up on my screen once again. Gorou? Haruto, have you done it yet? I haven't heard any blood-curdling cries from you, so I'm assuming he didn't beat you up? I haven't broken things off yet. What? Haruto, you gotta. Haven't you heard the rumors going around? Apparently he eats people. Who would be into that? I don't think Akuma is as bad as people make him out to be, Gorou. Really? You're not saying. But even if he isn't, I don't belong with him. I'll break things off soon, I promise. Alright. Just be safe, Haruto. Beep. I hang up the call, just in time to see Akuma make his way over to me. Making a clear path wherever he walks. I guess nobody is crazy enough to get in his way. Akahana! Akuma? How were classes? I skipped them. Oh. That's no good, Akuma. You have to go to them. Are you scolding me? No, Alright. I won't skip class tomorrow. So I don't disappoint you anymore. Alright then. What did you want to do? The other two interrupted us on the roof at lunch. I almost said lunch again, didn't I? Did I say lunch again? Falling apart. What's wrong with me today? I wanted to spend some time with you, just the two of us. Oh, sure. What did you... Give me your backpack. What? Give it to me. Now. He's cute one second and terrifying the next. Is this what people call gap moe? I don't know. I've never heard anyone say that before. I know what one of those words means, and am baffled by what you just hit me with. I shakily offer my backpack to him, expecting him to run off with it, or inspect the contents to make fun of me for having a romance manga in there. But he just throws it over his shoulder, carrying it with ease. Come on. And without another word, he starts walking in front of me, and I quickly follow behind. It's a quiet walk through town, and I'm so far behind him it almost looks like I'm stalking him, but eventually he very roughly demands I walk by his side when he notices this, so we walk shoulder to shoulder after that, or rather, shoulder to bicep. We reach a small little butcher shop, selling chicken meats of all kinds of birds, and Akuma opens the door for me to go in. Get in. Right. The shop doesn't smell as much of raw meat as I was expecting it to, but the array of dead, skinless chickens on the display counter does make me uneasy. Not to mention, why did Akuma bring me here? Were the rumors of him eating his victims true? Am I next? Ah, Ishikoro, there you are. An older man makes his way out of what I presume to be the freezer with a friendly smile. He nods happily at Akuma. Mr. Watanabe. Hey. And you brought a friend. Mr. Watanabe smiles warmly at me, and I hastily bow to him. Nice to meet you, sir. I'm Akahana Haruto. Ah, Haruto. I've heard a lot about you. He chuckles, and looks over at Akuma, a teasing glint in the wrinkle of his eyes. Fucking everybody knew he had a crush on me except me. This guy's a disaster. He's told everyone. So, finally manned up and did it, huh? The idea of hearing a lot about you is in itself wild, because he's always afraid to seemingly incapable of speaking at all. Akuma just huffs. He seems to do that a lot when he's embarrassed. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, little Haruto. Please, take good care of my Ishikoro here. He may be hard to get along with sometimes, but he's got a heart of gold, truly. Ishikoro? Is that Akuma's real name? He comes here often to help me out at the shop, running errands for me and taking over when I'm not feeling well. He's a good kid. It's nothing. So, that must be where the rumors came from. Akuma must be working here part-time. I'll be sure to be good to him, Mr. Watanabe. Is this supposed to be him thinking? I'm not really clear on the type of text going on. Like at the beginning, Gorou was their narrator, was somehow the narrator. And I think this text is supposed to be Haruto thinking, but all the narration is also Haruto thinking. And some of it is very much him currently like saying something in his mind in first person. But as narration, but not as this kind of narration. But I assume he's not whispering this or like saying it out loud to these people, like just, aha, I've deduced this thing. It is me, Alex Yick. Good lad. Now, what are you here for, Ishikoro? To ask for the day off today. I'd like to spend it with Akahana, if that's alright with you. Ah, of course. Well, it's been a slow day. I'll consider it, if you do one thing for me. He grabs an envelope from a drawer and hands it over to Akuma. And once his hands trace the contents inside, he quickly tries to return it. No, Mr. Watanabe, It's my condition, unless you want to work. Ugh. I thought so. Now, you go take your new boyfriend somewhere nice, you hear? Thank you. Don't mention it. It's nice to meet you, little Haruto. Yes, it was a pleasure, Mr. Watanabe. Being funded. Akuma? What's inside the envelope? Where would you like to go now, Akahana? Huh? Choose somewhere. It doesn't matter where it is. You said you liked games, right? Yes? Then come with me. He starts walking off again, and I have to run to catch up with him. The arcade? Is that not good? No, I didn't say that. The arcade's great. Good then. What game do you want to play? Oh god, this is a horrible lineup. It's all claw machines. It's so many claw machines and UFO catchers and... Oh no. Quick, turn the camera to a different direction. Show me a video game, please. Ah. Oh no. Now he's gonna spend money on me. Oh wait, is that what was in the envelope? Oh gosh, I'm in too deep. Why not the rhythm game machine? Those are fun. And we can play together. If that's what Akahana wants to do, then let's go. I assume he's gonna be completely incapable of playing it. Oh, it's not DDR, so he's not going to be falling on his ass. It's Project Diva. I don't like this game. We walk over to the empty arcade machine. The bright lights and music making Akuma tense up next to me. He grabs a card from his wallet and swipes it on the game. A loud ping signaling us that the game is ours to play. I don't like the bubble buttons where you play, like, the boggle buttons on some arcade machines. I don't like touching those ones. What kind of songs do you like? Death metal. 'Cause of all the murder. I don't think this game has death metal songs. It's mainly idol music. You just gotta look up baby metal. That's all I know. I'm so cultured. Do you like this kind of thing, Akahana? Huh? Well, not really. Sorry, sorry, Hatsune Miku. I denied you. You pretending you don't like idol music? You're trying to impress this guy a lot for someone you'd want to break up with. You've really not made up your mind at all. I thought you liked this kind of thing. You were at the anime con last year, after all. Well, that was mainly for Gorou. Oh, wait, you were there? This song looks good. Just do what I do every time I find a machine that I don't know how to find songs on. I look up the theme song to Evangelion. I've never seen Evangelion, but I know the song, so at least I can recognize the beat I'm supposed to be playing. Am I gonna get in copyright trouble? I feel like I'm gonna get in copyright trouble. Oh, it's just going. We have full vocals right now. Okay. He chooses a song with a very upbeat tempo. And before I have time to question him more, the game starts, and he starts getting into the groove of the gameplay. If you don't hear any music right now, or not with vocals, then it's because a Vocaloid song started playing, and I don't know if the video will allow that. I miss a few notes at the start, but eventually I get into the rhythm of things, and once the song ends, I have a combo of 400 notes! Alright, Akuma, what's your... Akuma only hit 10 notes? Akahana! Yes? The fade out technically didn't make sense. The music was still playing well after the song ended in the story. Oh, he's crying, no! I hate this game. I'm sorry, I was being selfish. No. If you had fun, then I'm happy either way. But let's play a different game now. Of course, anything you'd like. He smiles at me, and somehow, this time, it's not scary at all, just warm and happy. Oh no, this isn't good. Why'd my heart skip a beat just now? This can't go on any further. I have to break things off, before it gets worse than this. No more beating around the bush, it's gotta be now. There's a shooter somewhere here. Do you like those, Akahana? Well... it'd be rude not to at least let him play a game he likes first, right? Sure, let's play that. That's not a shooter. That's not... is it a drive-by game? I just... Why did the camera cut... you could have used any picture. Why did you cut directly to, like, Daytona? Daytona! Why'd you cut directly to Daytona right when you just said a shooter? Just find a picture of Time Crisis 2 or something. After this game. After this game, I'll surely... just one more. None of those were shooters. There's a giant prize claim. But somehow more more UFO catchers. Oh god, is that one in the background the one where you put quarters in and eventually will knock over a bunch of quarters and you get a big prize? Or is it the one where a light spins in a big circle and you try to press it? Which I think people have mechanically proven is rigged to just not reward you a prize until it's time for them to pay out. Anyway. I couldn't say it! Akahana, wait for me here. I have to use the bathroom. Oh, okay. I can't deny that I've been having a lot of fun with Akuma. He's scary, but I think that's just his exterior. Mr. Watanabe, the black dogs. They care a lot about Akuma, and it's easy to see why. He may be strong and intimidating, but he's kind, and he worries about my happiness. There's no denying it. I was defensive before, but now I'm sure of it. Akuma's a good guy. So, why would he fall for a nobody like me? I can't let this go on any more than it already has. The chaotic, unpredictable nature of Akuma has no place in my boring, plain life. Is that what you want? Huh? The plush. Without even realizing it, I had been blankly staring at a claw machine full of cute little bear plushies. No, Step aside. That's literally the intense energy of Kiryu doing those fucking UFO catcher quests, which is why it's in my brain, because I had to play them, and I don't like doing it, but Kiryu needs to make a little girl happy. So I'll just sit there for 10 minutes playing the bad game, and then I'll do it again in the sequel, because they just reuse the quest. God damn it, Kiryu. But... I step out of his way, and Akuma quickly swipes the card on the machine, making the lights whir to life. A look of deep concentration etches onto his face, and maneuvering the claw, he lines it up right above one of the plushies, dropping it down and... completely missing. It's okay, Akuma, let's just... He swipes the card again before he could finish, and tries it again, this time lining it up to the head rather than the body of the plushie, but again, the claws only graze the stuffed toy, returning back up with nothing as Akuma growls angrily. Akuma, come on, you don't have to... No, Akahana, let me do this for you. He tries 3, 4, 5 more times, each try getting the plus, closer and closer to the opening of the machine until finally, on his 9th try, with a small push, in falls the plushie, the machine dinging in excitement with us. You did it! He reaches in and grabs it, easily holding it in one hand as he hands it over to me, the same crooked smile on his face. I feel like you're implying he's strong for holding a plush in one hand, but that's always easy. For you. Huh? Thank you, Akuma. I'm blushing. My heart's pounding really hard. No way, I'm so happy right now. This is very goofy. Alright. I'm appreciating the pacing, just in the fact that, like, I say this periodically, but like a lot of the visual novels, furry visual novels, struggle to just do anything with their time. That's probably a nice part about the jams, is they have to write fast, but like this is so dialogue driven that we just kind of go from scene to scene without having to kill too much time with somebody being stuck in their head for like 20 minutes straight as they narrate world building and stuff. After that, Akuma decided that it was getting late. They'd walk me home. An orange hue casts over the whole town, and Akuma's shadow easily engulfs my own as he walks behind me, my whole body covered by his. I just don't get it. I have to end things, but why don't I want this to end? Akahana? Why'd you stop? Is everything okay? Akuma? Yes? Why did you confess to me? Huh? I turn around to face him. Confusion and surprise slapped across his face. Well, now he knows how I felt at the assembly, huh? I mean, I'm not anyone special. I go to school, keep to myself, go home, that's it. I don't have any friends other than Gorou, and I'm not particularly good looking, so why would you ever find me lovable? Oh god, that's The choice of words, too. Oh, you're so sad. You're such a sad person. Because you're strong, Akahana. Huh? What do you... Do you remember your first year of high school? When club season rolled around, you decided to make the gardening club, because we didn't have one. I was gonna comment, I'm like, is there like an element of B-stars going on here? Like I was thinking about, is this B-starsing at me? And what stood out to me is that not only is our protagonist named Haruto, like Haru, and is all white with ears pointing up and so on, and specifically throughout so much of B-stars, Legoshi is this sort of distant, quiet, awkward character who, even when he's in a relationship with Haru, he keeps distancing himself and feeling like he has to prove himself and earn their relationship. Like, I'm gonna go do this and go accomplish this goal, and like it's actively a problem in their relationship because she wants him to be there and around and actually have a relationship. But most of the story is him distancing himself and going off on missions on this or that thing that will somehow better himself or solve a problem or make the thing safe for Haru, and in various ways accomplish things for him. And I was thinking about that throughout this because of the way that, like, Akuma just keeps being like, no, let me do this for you. Let me earn this. Because he keeps thinking he needs to earn this relationship instead of just, like, interact directly more, which makes more sense because it's just very awkward and distant. But now we're highlighting the idea that, like, Haruto is like Haru in that he's the only person, he's like single-handedly responsible for why there's a gardening club at all, which is the same thing as Haru. Like, Haru's the only gardening club member most years. I don't remember if she founded it or not, but in this case, Haruto founded it, so he's responsible for the gardening club too. And I'm like, hang on a minute. When club season rolled around, you decided to make the gardening club because we didn't have one. I remember that everyone thought it was girly or stupid or boring, and no one wanted to join. But you didn't care. You used the funds of the club to plant a garden at the school, and you tended to them as best you could on your own. You planted all kinds of flowers. But you never got to see them grow, because a few days later, someone had trampled all over them. They destroyed your hard work. Huh. I remember that. I was devastated. I cried for a long while. At this point in time, I didn't really know who you were. It's a little shameful to admit, but I thought you were pretty lame at the time, too. But I was passing by when I saw you there, hunched over, sobbing over your garden. A low growl rumbles from his throat, and he clenches and unclenches his fist as his expression turns somber. You were so upset, and I was sure that the next day I'd find the garden in the same state, and that'd be the end of it. But when I went to check, there you were, cleaning up the mess, planting new seeds, watering them with a smile on your face. You were talking to yourself, or maybe you were talking to the seeds, telling them how pretty they'll be, this time for sure. He heard that? I was so sure you'd give up. Someone as frail and small and lame as you. I thought it'd break you, but when it didn't, I was so surprised, and I realized then just how much I underestimated you, and how strong you really are, Akahana. So I just kinda kept watch over you. How you always kept to yourself, but always tried to make friends, getting people to join your club, or participating in all the stupid school events. I was too afraid to ask you to be my friend, or to tell you how I really felt. This is our last high school year, and I decided that I wasn't going to let the fear stop me anymore. So, I gave it my all, and I guess it worked out in the end. I'm Not as strong as you think, Akuma. If the people who destroyed my garden had done it a second time, I don't think I would have recovered. They weren't going to. I made sure of that. Huh? But how did you— I ate them! Huh. Akuma is scary. But being scared and being in love make your heart beat the exact same way. I can't tell them apart at all. Fucking right back to Beastars. Do I want to eat her or eat her out? Which one is it? The sun is about to set. After today, I won't be able to break things off with him until tomorrow. After today, it's not really much of an observation, really. After today, I won't be able to break things off with him until tomorrow. Yeah. That's how tomorrow works. It's after today. There's no gap between those things. If I wait till after this minute to break him off, I'll have to break off with him in the next minute. Because that's how time works sequentially. The sun is about to set, and after today I won't be able to break things off with him until— I said the same thing again. After today, my life with Akuma, the leader of the Black Dogs, the terrifying school delinquent of Kaname Academy, will truly start. No doubt it'll be chaos. It'll be strange, and nerve-wracking, and crazy, and terrifying. Akuma? Yes? Let's go home. Lead the way. Aww, color all of a sudden. I thought he had a spike collar, but that angle seems to suggest that it's just like a button, like a snap. I think it would be protruding in some way here or something. Do they get to wear jeans at school? It looks like they have a school uniform or something. Anyway, Akuma walks by my side now. He smiles at me, and I smile back. Yeah, it'll be chaos. It'll be revelry. But I think that's exactly what I want. Sorry, Gorou. Expending the time with Akuma is what you warned me of, but I think I'll stay by his side, just for a little while longer. We still have so little concept of what this guy actually has ever done that makes him scary, besides seeming scary, or what the Black Dogs have ever done. The most we know is that he intimidated the people that trampled the garden, or person. Akuma of the Black Dogs, the demon of Kanade Academy. Rumors circulate around about his mysterious, terrifying endeavors: cannibalism, violence, corruption. Who would make a story about a Japanese school full of animal people where a wolf is rumored to have eaten people? Needless to say, those who have heard his name cower in fear. Akahana, if you need more boxes to move, let me know. I don't want you carrying anything too heavy. If you need more boxes to move, that sounds like he needs boxes to be assigned to him to move? That sounds weird. And yet, he's the guy I call my boyfriend. It still seems so strange to think just a few days ago he and I were complete strangers and I was terrified of him. I think that's all I need for the garden. We can put the rest of the things back in the storage shed. Good. We better find everything where we left it tomorrow. If someone touches your stuff again, I'm not going easy this time. Now we're a couple, and I'm only slightly less scared of him. I'm surprised you're starting to tend to the garden so soon, though. Clubs don't form for another month. Well, you know, if no one tends to it, the flowers here are gonna wilt. Someone has to water them, and I'm the only one willing to. I'll help, if you'd like. I'd appreciate that. We carry the rest of the things to the shed, and I sit on a pile of mats, sighing. Thanks, Akuma. Of course. You seem a bit down, though, Akahana. Is something bothering you? For such a rugged guy, he sure is perceptive. Or maybe it's just with me. I'm okay, just thinking, that's all. He sits next to me, his large weight making the mat sink beneath his weight, crossing his arms. I'm your boyfriend. I have the right to know if something's bothering you. So tell me. Well, it's dumb. Doesn't matter. I'm just worried that no one will want to join my club again this year. You want club members? Because I can get you club members. No, I don't want you to coerce anyone. I just wish people would want to join because they're interested in it, you know? It seems like there's a niche for everything except this. Maybe I'm so boring, no one would want to join any club I'd make. I understand, Akahana. People judge others for what they think they know about them. It happens to me all the time. I guess you just get used to it. But don't let what others think of you define you. You're not boring, so don't think that. Got it? Huh. I think Udon was right about you. In what way? Who knows? I get up, stretching out, as Akuma huffs in embarrassment. Maybe it's alright if no one joins. I'll still have Akuma, after all. Well, let's get going before it gets late. It's dangerous to walk back home in the dark. Why would it be dangerous? Because he's a him. So he's like, what? What do you mean? Dangerous how? People could try to rob us. Well, they could sure try. He has a point. I don't think anyone's stupid enough to mess with someone as big and intimidating as Akuma. Still, we should leave. I try the handle of the door of the shed, but it doesn't budge at all. I try pushing, pulling, sliding, but the door won't open. Do these doors not open from the inside? I don't know, man. You run the club for literally years, shouldn't you know? We're trapped? I frantically try the door again, thinking maybe I just have stupid little noodle arms, but no matter how hard I push or pull, the door won't open. It's definitely locked. Akuma! Bust the door open! I don't think it works like that. Now's not the time to be rational, we're trapped! I start banging on the door, the clang of my fist against it making a good amount of noise as I yell out for help. Somebody! Help! How are you so calm? Can't you see we're trapped in here? What if we... He's blushing. What if we spend the night here? Don't tell me. Akuma planned this. No, he wouldn't. Would he? I have no idea what he's capable of. The idea of being trapped here all night has made me frozen in embarrassment, and Akuma's face is as stone, cold as ever, except that he's literally blushing. But maybe there's a little hint of a blush in him too? Maybe someone will come find us. It's entirely possible. Almost like I told someone to come get us later. Yeah, he's way too calm. Either he did this on purpose, or part of him wants to stay here with me too. That's not or, that's and, because he planned it. Slowly, and in defeat, I return to my place next to him, except maybe a little further than I was before. He closes his eyes, arms still crossed, and we stay like that in deafening silence. Boy, sure be bad for us if someone from class found us here, though. And why is that? Well, because we're a couple, right? What does that matter? Is he faking it, or is he actually this dense? You know, they're gonna think that we're... kissing. Among other things? Yeah, that. Would that be so bad? What? kissing. Would it be so bad? Akuma's surprisingly bold. I can't even calibrate myself for this. Like, knowing gay furries, I'm just like, on what planet is kissing your boyfriend bold? Or even suggesting it, hypothetically. I'm not ready for this. As expected of the guy who confessed to me in front of the whole school, though. How is this bold? This isn't bold. How? So does that mean Akuma wants to kiss me? Why am I so surprised? I mean, we're boyfriends, right? Of course he would. It shouldn't be a big deal. And yet, just thinking about kissing Akuma makes me pretty scared. But it was Akuma who said I shouldn't let fear win over me. As embarrassing it is to admit, I kind of want to kiss him too. Why is it embarrassing? How is that embarrassing? What are you talking about? Oh no, I want to kiss a giant man that's my boyfriend. No, kissing isn't bad. My heartbeat pounds against my chest as I inch closer to him, my shoulder pressed against his bicep as he looks down at me, a red blush on his face. He uncrosses his arms and hovers it over my shoulder hesitantly. Hovers it? An arm, I guess? Then just lets it drop behind me, pressing down onto the mat. It makes him get just a bit closer to me, though. So, is that something Akahana would want to do? If it's with Akuma, I would. Saying each other's names at each other this much is weird. Ah! Oh, they look very different from this angle. Quickly and suddenly, Akuma grabs me by the shoulders and pushes me against the mats. His huge body completely envelops my vision, making the only light hanging above the shed disappear behind his head, which is only inches away from my own. His breathing is shallow, and I can see his tail wagging a bit, and he's inching closer, and I'm scared. Love is scary. This is a horror game, actually, but I want to kiss him. I slowly wrap my arms around the back of his neck, pushing him closer, feeling his excited heartbeat pound against my large, strong back. Against his heartbeat against his own back. Right. Pounding against your back is not how I expect... I guess I don't expect somebody's heartbeat to pound against themselves. His eyes meet mine for a moment. The red glowing with a desire that I'm sure I must be replicating in his own vision. What? Something sounds weird about that. What? Okay, let's see if I can go into the settings. I can't even read this one. Text speed all the way down? Oh god, it's very slow. Okay. I guess they set the settings so it defaults to maximum text speed, which is a problem if they ever add an interruption, because that means it'll automatically load the next text immediately. Nope, that's too fast already. His lips part and hover against mine, and slowly Yo, Akuma, Haruto, you guys in here? Your backpacks are outside, and pardon the intrusion. Wait, Udon, don't lock us back inside! Man, going to second base on the second day. It's not the second day, is it? I thought they said days ago. It's been days since the asking out. If that's the rate you're going, Akuma, Haruto's gonna be pregnant by May. What planet is kissing a late stage thing? Pregnant? Udon? Yeah. You never speak of this to another soul. Got it? Sure, man. Well, glad I was able to, let you guys out of there. See you around, Haruto. Akuma looks at me for a moment, then blushes, clearing his throat. Let's go home. Right. Yeah, I guess he always finds new ways to scare me, huh? My life with Akuma isn't going to be good for my heart, and yet I can't help but want more of these heart-stopping moments with him. It's just a kiss! Nothing bad for your heart happened today. This is not a stressful day. I swear to God. If this is the kind of chaos Akuma's going to be bringing to my life, then I think I'll be just fine. End. Oh, I guess the jam's up then. Well, I was entertained. It's a pretty straightforward story. It's goofy. It's full of a lot of those like anime-isms where people kind of over-exclaim and act a little weird, which I'm not usually totally a fan of, but it kept it light and kept moving forward, so that was some fun. But yeah. If you want to check out the rest of this event, the May Wolf Game Jam, you can check out the link in the description and explore the other games involved. Didn't expect to beat this one, but I guess it makes sense that some of the game jams are probably finishable within the scope of my videos. And yeah, see you guys next time.